Yes. Good morning, students. See, students, in previous class, I was asking you one question about deflection of charges. So let us see that question because one or two students they are asking answer for that. Okay. Yeah. See here, a electric field is created like this. Okay. Here, positive charge plate. This plate is made positive, and this is negative charge plate. Electric field direction will be in this direction, as you know. Sorry, electric field direction will be in this direction, correct? Always it will be from positive charge to negative charge. Clear? Now let us suppose this is the center of these two plates. Okay, if nothing is there, if one charge is sent in the horizontal direction along these dotted lines, it has to go in the same straight line. But due to the presence of this electric field, due to the presence of electric field, if a charge q is sent, then it will deflect. Yes or no? Yes, definitely it will deflect. Now my question is, three charges q1, q2 and q3, three charges are sent through this dotted line with the same velocity, with same horizontal velocity. They were sent in this direction with same velocity, and they were deflected like this. One is deflected like this, another one is deflected like this, and third one is deflected like this. This is first charge, second charge, and third charge. Three charges are there. Their projecting velocity is same, but their deflections are different. Now my question is, what is the nature of these charges? Which is positive charge and which is negative charge? And second question is, what is ratio of charge to mass ratio of these charges, and highest for which charges? Charge to mass ratio, Q by M ratio is highest for which charge? Magnitude of Q1, Q2, Q3, let us take equal. Q1 magnitude, Q2 magnitude, Q3 magnitude. All the three magnitudes are same, let us suppose. First question is, what is the nature of these three charges and what is the charge to mass ratio, and which charge is having charge to mass ratio highest value? Okay, yes, let us see nature. See, this is positive plate and these two charges are deflecting towards it, means they are negative charges. First one is negative charge and this is also negative charge. Clear? And third one is, because it is deflecting towards negative charge, means it is attracting by negative, means it should be positive. Third part indicates it is a positive charge, and first and second they are negative charges. Clear? About deflection, as I have given one formula for deflection, y is equal to half QE by M into T square. Do you remember this one? Y is equal to UYT plus half AYT square. AY value is QE by M. Yes, from this Q by M value I want. Q by M is equal to 2Y divided by ET square. Electric field is constant, time is also constant, let us suppose. Then Q by M is proportional to deflection. Among these three, which one is having more deflection? That charge to mass ratio also more. So charge to mass ratio is more for third charge. Yes, this will be the answer. I hope you understand this one clearly. Okay, students? Okay? Yes. Now, yeah, question, how magnitude sensor? I am taking, this is take, let us take. And their velocities, Q1 velocity, Q2 velocity, Q3 velocity is also equal. Then only you will get this answer. This is according to your question. I'll send you the question also. You see that. Okay, after this class I'll send you questions. Okay, yes, I hope you understand now. Next, see, one more problem we were discussing in last class, that is about symmetric structure of charges. Let us suppose here one hexagon is there, hexagon. Okay, this first corner, second corner, third corner, fourth corner, fifth corner, sixth corner. Okay, and this will be the center of this hexagon. Center O. Okay, now on its sixth corner we have kept 5 charges of equal magnitude. Let us suppose here we have kept Q charge. Here also Q charge is there. 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 Now how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 charges are there at 5 corners. One corner is empty. Here we did not keep any charge. Now my question is, what will be the electric field at the center O due to all these 5 charges at the vertices of this hexagon? This is the question. Yes, this is a previous year question, Nana. This is a previous year question, JEE and NEET and CBSE also. They have asked. Okay? Yeah. See, students, if you take a square, and on this square at 4 corners, if we keep 4 charges, then exactly at the point of cross-section of their diagonal, electric field, how much value, Nana? You got this. Electric field at the center will be 0. And if you take a square, triangle also, 3 corners, if you keep 3 charges, and if it is a equilateral triangle, then what will be the electric field at the centroid? It is 0 again. Yes, we have solved this type of problems. That is for symmetrical distribution of charges. Electric field at the center will be 0. That is the concept. If the charges are distributed symmetrically, means from particular point all the charges are at equal distance, and if the charges magnitude and nature is same, then you will get electric field at the center will be 0. Same concept, see, charges are of equal magnitude and same in nature. Okay, if you take another charge Q, let us consider one more charge Q also present at third corner, then according to symmetrical distribution of charges, we will get electric field at center O should be 0. Are you getting? Electric field due to symmetrical distribution of charges should be 0. That means, what is that meaning? Electric field due to 5 Q charges, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These 5 charges plus electric field due to charge at third corner should be equal to 0. Are you getting? These two together should be equal to 0. That means electric field due to these 5 charges. 5 charges I am saying. I am not saying electric field due to 5 Q charge. It is 5 charges. I am unable to write. It is lengthy for writing. So that's why I am writing like this. Should be equal to electric field due to small charge Q with a negative sign. So whatever the electric field this small charge Q will produce, that should be equal in magnitude these two electric field due to all these 5 charges, and magnitude wise they are equal. Means if you find electric field due to this small charge Q, then you will get electric field due to all these 5 charges. You know, electric field due to charge Q at a distance. See, if these distances are at r distance, r distance, then this distance is also equal and according to symmetry. Then you know electric field due to charge Q at a distance r how much? Is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by distance how much r square. So electric field due to all that remaining 5 charges will be equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by r square. Yes, this will be the answer. I have taken magnitude only. Direction, both are in opposite direction. Clear? Concept is important. You must remember this. I hope you understand now. Okay? Okay, na? Last equation. Electric field due to that 5 charges should be equal to electric field due to charge Q. Magnitude wise. Magnitude wise. Electric field due to charge Q is how much, Anna? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R square distance. This is equal to this. Means electric field due to 5 charges we want. That is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R square. Yes, this will be the answer. Now, let us move on to next topic. Very important topic. That is electric flux. Electric flux. And we will indicate this one with letter phi. With letter phi, we will indicate this one, Anna. Okay? Yes. So, what is electric flux, sir? Yes. Before discussing about this electric flux, first we need to clear one point, that area is it scalar or vector? Whether it is scalar or vector, Anna? Which one? Area. If you take any surface, the area of that surface, is it scalar or vector? Scalar. Wrong. Mathematics, if you take, it is will be a scalar. But according to direction, if you see, electric field, area is a vector quantity. How, sir? Let us suppose we are having one pipe, and through this pipe, let us suppose water is coming. Through this pipe, water is coming out through this pipe. Okay. Now, let us suppose you take one ring. Okay. Now, that ring, if you keep like this, if you keep perpendicular to, if you keep the ring like this, then what happened? Maximum amount of water will flow through this ring. Are you getting? Yes. If you keep the ring like this, then is water flows through this ring? No, water will flow like this only. Means water is not crossing this ring. That means how much water is passing through this ring depends upon its orientation. How we have kept this one, and how much area is placed, and how this area is placed. Clear? So that's why area is a vector quantity. Area is a vector quantity. So direction points here. In which direction we are keeping this ring, so that maximum amount of water will flow through that ring. We should place it in perpendicular direction to this flow of water. Then only maximum amount of water will flow out. If we keep parallel to this like this, then water cannot pass through that ring. Clear? Yes. So area we should consider is as a vector quantity. Yes. What will be the direction of that area, sir? Direction of area. Area is vector quantity. Area direction is always perpendicular to the surface. Let us suppose this is the ring. Then area vector will be in this direction. Area vector. This area vector. Area vector will be in this direction. If you consider a closed surface, yes, you see this box, it is a closed surface. Okay. So for this, what will be the area vector? What will be the area vector? See, for this surface, area vector will be perpendicularly upward like this. Okay. Clear? So area vector for a closed surface is normal to the surface, pointing outward. Remember this point. Are you understanding what I am saying? Let us suppose you are having one closed surface. Like this, one closed surface is there. Okay, whose area is, let us suppose, S. Then area vector what, sir? For this area, you draw one perpendicular. I am drawing it like this. I can't draw, that's why I am showing you like this. This is called as area vector. Always area vector points perpendicular to the surface. For this surface, area vector will be perpendicular like this. And it will be outward from the surface. If you consider one spherical surface, spherical closed surface, if we consider, this should be closed. Then this spherical closed surface will have area vector perpendicular to the surface like this. This area vector. If you consider small area ds here, and this will be ds bar, small elementary area ds bar. Okay, imagine this is a ball. Okay, see my hand. This is a ball, and what will be the area vector of that? It will be like this. Chalk piece, how it is perpendicular to this surface. Okay, very important point. You need to remember this. Area vector is always perpendicular to the surface, pointing outward. Okay. Yes. Now, what is electric flux? Electric flux is nothing but, let us suppose here we are having some electric field lines or electric lines of force are there. Let us suppose this is what electric lines of forces or electric field lines. Okay, clear students? Yes. Now, if we keep S area in this field like this, area is placed like this. Okay, students. Now, if this area perpendicular is like this, let us suppose this is ds bar. Let us suppose small elementary area. This is ds, and this area vector is in this direction. Let us suppose. Now this dr bar and this area vector is making some angle theta between them. This is theta I am writing, this is flux phi I am writing. Okay. Now what you need to do? Take the component of this ds bar. This ds bar along this, it will become ds cos theta. Okay. Means this area, whatever I kept here, I kept like this. This is the area vector. Okay. Now maximum electric field lines, when they will pass through it, when this is perpendicularly like this. So that's why I have taken this perpendicular component of the area vector ds cos theta. I hope you are understanding. Clear, students? Yes. So the flux can be written as electric field into ds cos theta. So electric flux is nothing but how many maximum number of electric field lines can pass through that area vector which is placed perpendicular to the electric field. That number indicates electric flux. Are you understanding? Electric flux is the number of electric field lines passes through the area element, area vector, which is placed perpendicular to the field. If it is placed somewhat inclined angle like this, then you need to take area element which is perpendicular to that area. That is ds cos theta we should take. Flux means number of electric field lines passing through the area. Yes, I'll write here. Flux is number of electric field lines passing through surface which is placed perpendicular to electric field. Okay, this is called as electric flux. Electric flux means how many number of electric field lines are passing through a area. Yeah, you see, imagine these my fingers are electric field lines which are generating from one charge. These 4 fingers are my electric field lines. Okay. Now let us suppose here a area is placed here. This book, you see, this book area is placed. Okay. Now when I keep this one like this, how many lines are passing? 4 lines are passing. So electric flux is 4, you can say. If it is placed somewhat like this, now how many lines are passing? See, 1 or 2 fingers are missing out. See, this finger is missing out. If it is placed like this, so all 4 fingers will go. If it is placed like this, any one of the finger will miss out. It cannot pass through this area element. So how many number of electric field lines passing through the surface which is placed perpendicular to the electric field is called as electric flux. Got it? Electric flux means what? I hope you understand. Okay, and mathematically it will be written like this. Means it can be written as, see, it can be written as E bar ds bar cos theta. It can be written as E bar dot ds bar. So this is E bar dot ds bar. This is called as small flux. Flux through this small area element ds. If you want total area element, total flux, then you need to integrate it. Integration of d phi. That is nothing but integration of E bar dot ds bar. Mathematically, electric flux is a dot product of electric field and area vector. Dot product between electric field and area vector. Are you understanding, students? Definition is how many number of electric field lines are passing through the area element when it is placed perpendicular to the electric field. Mathematically, it is written as a dot product between area vector and electric field, E bar dot ds bar. So electric flux through a small elementary area ds can be written as d phi is equal to E bar dot ds bar. Ds is a small elementary area, small portion of the area. If you want total flux, you need to integrate this d phi so that you will get total electric flux. I hope you are understanding what I am explaining for you. Okay, and electric flux is scalar or vector. See, electric flux I have written, it is a dot product. You know, all the dot products are scalars. Resultant of the dot product is always scalar. So electric flux, it is a scalar quantity. It is a scalar quantity. Do you understanding, students? Okay. What will be the SI unit of electric flux? Electric flux can be written as E bar dot S bar. S indicates area element, area vector. Or you can write area, A bar. Okay. SI unit, you see, SI unit of electric field. What is the unit of electric field, Nana? Yes, you know, Newton per coulomb. Correct? Yes. And area is meter square. So SI unit is Newton meter square per coulomb. Newton meter square per coulomb is the SI unit of electric flux. What will be the dimensions? Dimensions what? What are the dimensions of electric flux? Yes. So for writing dimensions, what we need to do? Write the basic fundamental unit. That is Newton meter square per coulomb is there. Okay. Let us write fundamental unit. Newton means what? Kg meter per second square into meter square into coulomb is there. How can we write coulomb? Q is equal to IT. As you know, I is equal to Q by T. Then Q is equal to IT. So charge is coulomb, current is ampere, time is second. So ampere second power minus 1. So total SI unit will become kg meter cube second power minus 2 minus 1 minus 3 a power minus 1. Yes, dimensions are m l cube t power minus 3 a power minus 1. Yes, these are the dimensions of electric flux. Electric flux dimensions. So what you need to remember is what is electric flux, what is the mathematical formula for it, whether it is scalar or a vector, and what is the SI unit and what are the dimensions. Electric flux is nothing but number of electric field lines passing through the area element when the area element is placed perpendicular to the electric field. Okay, and mathematically it is written as surface integral of E bar dot ds bar. This we call it as surface integration. One round I am keeping here. This circle indicates for a closed surface. Through that closed surface, how many electric field lines are passing? That is the meaning of this circle of integration. Clear? Surface integral of electric field over a closed surface is called as electric flux. We can define like this also. Clear, students? Yes, I'll write here. Surface integral of E bar dot ds bar. It will be read like this. Surface integral of electric field over a closed surface. This is called as electric flux. This we call it as electric flux. You can define like this also. Or your actual definition. Number of electric field lines passing through the surface in perpendicular direction. That is called as electric field. Okay? Yeah. So this is about the electric flux now. So electric flux is nothing but E bar dot ds bar. Flux phi can be written as E bar dot A bar, or it can be written as surface integral of E bar dot ds bar. Surface integral. Here I am writing A, or you can write S also. Okay. Now let us see one question. Let us suppose there is an electric field which is given as 2i cap plus 3j cap plus 4k cap. This is the electric field. Now area vector is given like this. Area vector is A bar is equal to area vector A bar is given as I cap minus j cap plus 2k cap. Then what will be the flux through that area? Flux through the area is what? What will be the flux through area? The flux through that area is written as E bar dot A bar or S bar. You can take anything. A means area, S also area. So that can be written as 2i cap plus 3j cap plus 4k cap. This is what an electric field. Dot product. Area vector. I have given it as I cap minus j cap plus 2k cap. Yes, find the dot product of this. You will get electric flux. Yes, Pradeep. What do you want? Why you are raising hand? Again. Don't disturb the class. Okay. Now you find dot product, Nana. Dot product, what to do? I cap multiply, j cap quotient multiply, j cap quotient multiply along with the signature. Okay. Array, Pradeep and Amit, if you do like this, I will remove you. Pradeep, I'll see. 2 I cap into I cap is 2. I cap dot I cap is 1, no? Yes. Plus into minus is minus. Signature also. This sign also you need to do. See. 3 ones are 3, plus into plus plus, 4 twos are 8, 2 plus 8 is 10, 10 minus 3 is 7. So 7 is the value. Okay, students. Okay, so 7 is the answer. Clear? Yes. Sometimes they may give questions differently also. See how they will give. See, students, electric field is given as I cap plus J cap plus K cap. Let us suppose. They will ask you, what is the electric flux through the area which is in the plane, in the YZ plane. And the value of area is 20 I cap, 20, let us suppose. 20 area value is 20 is there, and which is in YZ plane. Then if this electric field is passing through that plane, what will be the electric flux? So first write YZ plane area vector. YZ. See, this is X, Y, this is Z. So YZ plane, if you take, perpendicular to this is along X axis. So area vector is nothing but 20 I cap. You need to decide this one first. Then electric flux, electric field is given I cap plus J cap plus K cap. Then electric flux how much, Rana? E bar dot A bar. What you will get? 20 into 1 is 20. Yes, this will be the answer. Newton meter square per coulomb unit. Are you getting, students? Did you understand this point? So this type of questions also sometimes they may ask you. See, electric field is given in one plane, in one particular area, that is I cap plus J cap plus K cap is given, let us suppose. Then there is one area whose magnitude is 20, and that area is in YZ plane. Then what is the flux through that area? They are asking. So area is given, but if you want area vector, YZ plane means which one, Nana? See, this is Z axis, this is Y axis, this is the YZ plane. This is the YZ plane. This is XY plane. This is XZ plane. This is YZ plane. YZ plane perpendicular is this side, means along X axis. So area vector we should take it as 20 I cap, because value of area is given 20. And electric field, however, given I cap plus J cap plus K cap. Then E bar dot A bar you take. Both the dot product you take. Only I cap is there. This I cap coefficient only we should multiply. Remaining all are 0. So 20 into 1 is 20 Newton meter square per coulomb is the value. Got it, students? Yes. So today I'll send that this type of different questions. You solve them in your WhatsApp group. I will send, and in tomorrow's class we will discuss about Gauss law. Very important law, Nana. So don't forget to join in that class. Okay. Bye.